Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope you've had a good week. I saw a few comments about twin rifles. Well, one has a cheek piece, the other one doesn't. So they're not going to be identical, but all in all they're going to be very similar. See, the thing about twins, well, I actually dated a twin. And a common question would be, do you ever get them mixed up? And no, you could tell them apart. See, Lindsay had blonde hair and Bob had a cock. And so this part is very important, as it's one of the most prominent features that your eye is naturally drawn to. The cheek piece has to be cut in a way that isn't gaudy, overdone, stupid, or offensive looking. This isn't the place for wild ideas or groundbreaking new concepts. No. Your idea sucks, it's been tried already, and there's a reason you've never seen it before. Stick to traditions, my friends. They're there for a reason. This is still the rough form. It's important to leave things unfinished until they need to be finished. What a concept, right? If you finish one specific area, then that part is concreted, which limits your flexibility as the piece develops. Instead, we must work all areas equally to a rough form. Now we move to another crucial area, the grip. Like the cheek piece, this area demands our attention. Not only does it need to look nice, but also feel good in your hand. Wow, Justin, that's interesting. You're telling me that the grip needs to have good grip? Yes, here at Merck's Gunworks, we provide only the best insight. More on this at 7. We will start by trimming off the excess fat and starting a basic profile. Now that the grip is slimmer than my wife's temper, we can move on to flattening the bottom so the ebony cap can be added. I have never carved a grip cap before, so we're all in this together. I have heard that ebony dust is toxic, which is probably just made up propaganda by Big Wood. Stay tuned and I'll let you know. The angle of the flat is worth noting as well. Using a straight edge, we can aim the angle where we want it. For this particular stock, I want it to be angled up into the heel. It's important to make the bottom of the grip flat, dead flat. Anyone who's ever used a file knows how difficult this is. Not only do we need to flatten it, it needs to be square with the rifle proper. And we can check this with 12-inch ruler. It's crooked as hell. Okay. For all the new subscribers, every week when you hear the Shop Beer song, I show you 3 different parts and you name them in the comments. If you're right, you get shouted out the following Tuesday. This week I have a bonus round that only the real ones are gonna get. So while this epoxy cures, let's get into the winners of last week's parts game.
Ein Bier im Laden, ein kühler Traum. Zwischen Regalen, da find ich Raum. Die Flaschen glitzern wie Sternenlicht. Die Kasse piept, das Glück zerbricht nicht. Shop Beers, Prost, mein Freund. Ein Schluck, ein Lachen, wir sind vereint. Shop Beers, das Leben so fein. Mit einem Krug voll Glück im Sonnenschein. Der Kühlschrank summt, ein froher Ton. Ich greif zur Dose, das ist mein Lohn. Der Laden duftet nach Malz und Korn. Hier wird der Durst des Lebens geboren.
I am dying to see how many of you guys get the bonus round right. There's so much lore that the new subs just aren't gonna get right off. Anyways, back to the rifle. Before we get ahead of ourselves, we need to start thinking about the LOP, the length of pull. This is the distance from the end of the stock, or I guess your shoulder, to the thing you put your finger on, which has a name that I can't say on here. The LOP we need is 14 inches. The stock measures at 14 inches already. So we need to remove the width of the pad from the wood, in this case, 1 inch. This measurement is then scribed into the wood so we can make a clean cut. Then we realize the saw doesn't work, and we pray to God that we can get it fixed before next episode. And because this segment was slotted for the recoil pad, we will have to fill it with something else. Because I've worked on guns for so long, I can spot little things that the average person wouldn't. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but this stock has a minor crack through the grip area, and this is a pretty simple fix. We will need to mix up some Acroglass epoxy. And by the way, this stuff is amazing. Everyone should just have this stuff on hand. It's so useful and not even just for guns. I'm adding a link in my video description if you want some. And this is just the first step in fixing this. There's also a massive chunk missing from the other side, and that's going to be a pretty in-depth procedure. Do you want to see this followed along like a side project? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And now we can finally get back to moving this rifle forward. There's really not a lot else that we can do before we finish inletting the receiver. We can't do much shaping because we don't know exactly where it's going to sit. So we just have to get this over with so we can move on to more fun things. See you Tuesday.
Shopping.